So this is a presentation that I developed for an evening where we shared 3 Insead courses, one to South Africa, one to India, and one to Silicon Valley. My course was called Building Businesses in India. We were about 20 students, 2 professors. We spent class time in hotels in Mumbai and Bangalore. We had professors from India. We had very interesting discussions and also moments of boredom. And of course, entrepreneurs, business people, venture capitalists, and our good old professor, Phil Anderson, typing away. But a lot of the learning that happened, of course, happened outside of class. We definitely enjoyed our time. We went out, had an alumni event, late night in Bangalore, a little dancing with the locals, had a great time. And the question that came up initially for me that really lingered was one that our Indian professors brought up as well. And that question was, what is India? Really, who is India? What is India? And the core kind of characteristic of India that I think strikes you the more you get to know it is how diverse it is. This is not a country like the ones that we know. This is diverse geographically, from rural to urban, religiously and culturally, from Muslims and Christians and Hindus and many other religions. We're talking over 100 languages. 30 official. Just massive, massive, more diverse than Europe. Our Indian professor mentioned these phrases that he described India as, and I thought they were very interesting. That has to do with its diversity. One was called it a functional anarchy. Another one that he used was chaotic democracy. We're talking a democracy within a region so diverse. So to make decisions is difficult. Another phrase that he used was a lumbering elephant. The other kind of important thing that he brought up that was interesting to me was that we have this dichotomy in India of what he called a 21st century head and a 19th century body. You have these extremely intelligent technology minds trained at the top schools, some of the smartest people in the world, along with like an infrastructure that is 19th century. You have cutting edge charging stations, innovations that should be everywhere for your cell phones, but you also have so much traffic in Bangalore and Mumbai. It's really growing too quickly. Another interesting thing that's happening right now is you're getting a reverse. From a time where most of the intelligent, capable leaders left India and went to the U.S. or to Europe or to other countries, are now deciding to stay home, and they're all heading home. Up to 70,000 people. These are not, like outsourcers. These are business leaders from Silicon Valley or from Europe that have experience leading major companies or are in touch with the cutting edge technology and cultural trends. Some of the people that we met were Biocon, a biotechnology company in India that started back in the 70s by a woman entrepreneur. Wipro, you're probably familiar with, a lot of interesting services, not only outsourcing but a lot of creative work and innovation work as well. This was an interesting company started by an Insead grad doing high-end travel packages to all of India. Another company is a wine company, Sula Vineyards. Who knew? Wine in India, it's happening. There's a lot of new vineyards even coming out. We were surprised. And of course, a lot of social entrepreneurship in India, probably more than the average country. This is a social entrepreneurial organization that helps young people. And pinSTORM for me was probably the kicker. It was like the company I got most excited about. They're basically a search marketing company that is taking some margins from Google because they're basically selling phrases out at the edge of the tail. So not like the most common phrases that everybody types in. They're getting very expensive. They're being just as effective by finding the gems at the end of the tail. But what else? What else is India? What else is happening here? The biggest thing I think on the horizon, and it's already happening, relating to this phone actually, is the market. We're talking 500 million plus entering the mainstream. These are kind of middle class Indian consumers, a generation that is paying attention to global events, speaks English, and uses mobile technology as much as all of us. The generations are changing, and the question is, where are we going to be? I'm going to actually finish with a piece that I wrote that I'm going to share with you, called India Shining. The overstretched 19th century elephant lumbers towards anarchy, while the 21st century mind embraces chaotic democracy. Yes, 1 billion strong are rising to the mainstream. The brain drain reversed course as the home country gains the valley's cream of the top crop. But the taxis are stuck in traffic, and the governments are slow to change. And the youth consumers of Nokia's futures are breathing pollution and more of the same. Yes, India's shining as we walk to the beat of people surviving with what they sell on the street. India's shining, the weather is sweet, and people are climbing while the West is asleep. Thanks a lot. I hope you all enjoyed. Take care.